Welcome back, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Solo Adventures Together. The podcast where we, a married couple, send each other off on adventures solo, and then we sit in these nice orange chairs that you may or may not be able to see, and recap those adventures.
Yeah. You go off, you do the thing, you report back.
Yeah. Last time, where did I go? I don't even remember
I
anymore.
sent you to paint and music.
Paint and music. I still have that painting I need to frame. And
You're going to frame it?
what else are we going to do with it?
Well, I don't know.
Maybe I'll hang it in the garage in the man cave.
Oh, yeah, wow.
Because it's a man cave right now, you know.
It is kind of man cavey.
And you know what makes a good man cave? Absolutely nothing, and it's cold out there.
It was really warm out there earlier.
Right.
We're already getting off topic.
I'm talking about the nighttime, I guess, yeah.
Back to...
Well, because like cavemen.
Yeah,
They didn't have much in their caves.
I guess, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, you're right. We're getting off topic here, sorry.
Like immediately, so...
Well, maybe that was the topic I wanted to talk about. Maybe I was getting passionate about cavemen and their dwellings.
Yeah, but people are going to find it boring. Talk about the thing we're supposed to talk about.
So, cavemen...
Oh, my God.
So a lot of things happened this week.
It's true.
Yeah. So I found a really good event for you. And I was really looking forward to you going, and we had good anticipation. And it was going to be a great time. It was like a book swap situation where it was put on by a nonprofit, and they basically if you want to, you have to bring at least one book to swap, and then you could take 4 books.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, I mean, how'd that go? What was it like? What'd you do?
Well, I slept through it because I was sick and felt bad and couldn't leave the house, and it felt wrong to go.
That's right. You were pretty sick for a couple of days.
I was sick.
You slept for 12 hours at a time.
Yeah. I will say that I think that's a remarkable quality of mine is, and I, fully can blame it on the celiac disease, because there is some magic there in the being able to just sleep like a rock for 10 to 12 hours.
Yeah, you did. Like, there were a couple of times you fell asleep on the couch.
Yeah.
A couple of times you fell asleep in bed.
Yeah.
And there's something about, especially when we have a planned event, something like that, where like there is a certain level of like, do I just make you get out of bed and go, and this was one of those times where I was like, I am not waiting.
Because I had told you to like, hey, please make sure, like, I want to go to this thing. And then, like, I was like, because you were asking me, you're like, are you sure you're going to be feeling, and I was like, yeah, I was like, I should be fine, should be feeling better. No, was not.
And
I felt better later that evening, but only because I slept for like...
If your sleep would have been interrupted and you had to go socialize with who knows how many people.
Well, and also I probably would have been maybe contagious still, so...
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
No. I thought I was going to be, tip-top shape. It wasn't.
But you're feeling great today.
Yeah, no, I was feeling good today.
That was like, what, 3 days ago? What day is today?
Today's Monday. It was supposed to be Saturday. I was supposed to go to the event.
Right. That was like the peak of your sickness.
Yeah, that was not happening.
So that was fine, right? Obviously, there's going to be more events. And as people saw by the title, we found another event, of course.
Yeah. We've kind of talked about, so it ended up being a class where it's like a kind of...
Yoga. Aerial
meditation. Aerial yoga and meditation. And we've kind of talked about like the events that have worked best for this podcast and the ones that have maybe been like, oh, okay, that was all right, but like maybe not the best fit. And going to a class where you're not really interacting with other people and you're just following along is kind of lower on the priority list. Like we try to choose other stuff first. It was interesting, but I will say I don't know that I feel like there's as much to discuss because it was like a one track of things that happened.
Well, so I guess we should go through the criteria of how like we kind of choose an event, what the purpose is, why we do it and stuff. And I get the first question I'll answer. Thank you so much for asking.
Yeah, of course.
why I chose this event. So I really wanted you to do the book swap.
Yeah.
As you can see, by our various books of different qualities and quantities, we are a book house.
Yeah, I got lots of books.
And I thought that would be a great way to meet more people that are into books.
Yeah.
You know, or I don't know what kind of people would show up. Honestly, no clue. Only event that worked with our time frame, pretty much. There was another one that was like a tennis rally practice, but it was intermediate tennis. And I was asking you about your tennis skills from your high school captain tennis team.
Because I did play tennis in high school, but that was before.
Captain of the tennis team.
That was before I had a rather major shoulder injury.
Sounds like an ambidextrous tennis player.
Yeah, it doesn't really work like that, unfortunately.
That was at like 8 p.m. too, so it was like a weird time, and you had to like request to join, so they had to allow you to go. It was a whole thing.
I don't know.
So then I saw this Arial Yoga, which of course combining two different things.
Right.
Always interesting.
Did you get a screenshot of the?
I did.
You've got my phone.
Yeah, because my phone's dead, so I sent it to you. So it's called Yoga, Spa, and Wellness Aerial Experiences.
Yes.
First of all, did you think you had an experience?
I would call it an experience.
All right, let me read you the description, and you can just let me
Right,
know if this is what you experienced. Sink into weightless tranquility. Using the hammock low to the ground.
Yes.
This deeply soothing class supports every curve of your body to melt tension and reset your nervous system. Okay, float.
No.
Breathe.
Yeah, lots of breathing.
And restore the ultimate aerial cocoon.
I did cocoon.
For rest and renewal. Taught by a couple of certified aerial and hatha yoga teacher and plant-based chef.
You didn't talk about the plant-basedness, but she said she'd been teaching for 9 years.
So the plant-based chef thing didn't come into
play.
It wasn't part of the meditation?
No.
Think about plant-based foods. And then maybe they'd go on to describe a sort, as a chef, a certain recipe that they liked. That didn't happen.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
Okay. Well, what did happen?
So, first off, I went in. I found parking, got in there, and I got in there with like a decent amount of time to get situated. Go into the front. There's nobody at the front counter. And I was like, oh, okay. And I
Always a good sign.
Always a good sign when there's no one there right at when classes are starting, like in the 5 minutes before classes starting and there's no one at the front desk. I'm always like, oh, okay. And there was some lady sitting in the room and I was like, you don't happen to know where the yoga is, the aerial yoga? And she was like, she's like, no, I'm here for a facial. I don't know. It was like a wellness spa.
Wait, so that was also there?
So that was also there. Okay. And I was like, okay. So when I had walked over, I had seen a yoga studio as I was walking up, but it didn't have the aerial silks. So, when I was looking for that, because you had sent me the address, and I had said, this, I recognize this street, because we moved to San Diego recently. And we had just gone to a bar, like literally across the street from this yoga studio. I was like, I recognize that street name. And when I was looking it up, it showed that there was 2 different classes happening at like the same time because I had to register on...
Like on the same block or what?
Well, I had to register on MindBody and do the... There was like an agreement of like, I'm not going to sue the place if I die or whatever.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I signed that on MindBody because I have a MindBody account, right? And
why would you die?
I don't know, too much suspension or something.
Gotcha.
Anyways, I saw that there was 2 classes going on at the same time, so I was like, okay, it's probably a different class. But I went and I peeked in and I was like, hey, is this where the aerial stuff? Like, where do I check in? And she's all, I can get you checked in. It's outside. And I was like, outside? Where? All right, whatever. So she gets me checked in and then walks me down. And the girl who walks me down, she goes, did you call earlier? And I was like, no. I was like, no, I didn't. And she goes, okay. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, yep, here it is. And I put my shoes in, there were some cubbies, and I put my shoes in cubbies. And it was like a really nice outdoor covered area with like big beams that had all of these aerial silks hanging from them. I was glad that I brought my own yoga mat. I guess they did have some yoga mats available. When I first walked in, I didn't see any of them, and everybody had clearly their own yoga mats. And I was like, oh, good thing I brought my yoga mat. So I laid on my yoga mat and picked a spot, and she goes on to start telling us about, and she had like a mic, and
No way.
Yeah, and because it took me a minute to find the class.
Oh, were you late?
No, I wasn't late. I was there with enough time to get settled before it started.
Hi, Kiki.
And there was someone who showed up after me.
That's the best.
And that's the best. There's someone else who showed up after me. But I ended up sitting like next to the speaker, which was fine because there were sometimes difficulties hearing her.
With the mic on?
Well, it was down in Point Loma, which is close to the beach.
Okay.
And it's also very close to the airport.
So airplanes?
Lots of airplanes. During the relaxing, meditative...
Just relax.
Like, take some deep... take some deep cleansing breaths.
Kiki.
She just launched herself off your nuts.
Kiki, come back. You can just readjust here. Okay, Kiki.
She's not coming back.
You're fine, Kiki. That's nice. Come on.
Kiki, what's up?
Ah, God. Kiki, sometimes I forget how strong you are. Launching your entire body weight off of my jewels.
So it was down in Point Loma, which is close to the ocean.
Love the ocean.
And it was beautiful, right? So we're in this outdoor, there's the breeze, there's a little bit of sunshine. I'm in the shade. I'm happy because I got real nervous when she told me it was in the sun.
Oh, yeah,
outside.
you didn't take
I was
sunscreen.
Like, no, this is going to be a problem. But no, I was in the shade, and we're kind of set up more in a kind of a circle. Well, everybody was like facing each other. It was like 2 rows.
Okay.
Facing towards each other.
How many people are we talking here?
7 of us total, including the instructor.
7 including the instructor, okay.
Yeah, which I think there was space for maybe 2 more people.
Okay, so 8.
9.
8 stations,
yeah.
1 instructor. Gotcha.
Anyways, but where it was very close to the airport, which meant that there was plenty of planes going by. So it was good that I was next to the speaker, which even sometimes I still just could not hear what the hell she was trying to say.
Did she use like a specific word and verbiage that you didn't quite understand, or
Most of it
what
was
the
just,
problem?
I mean, it was mostly yoga terms in general, but mostly just that I couldn't hear because there was an airplane overhead. Yeah, the sound of a big jet, and it's like close to a highway, so there'd be like racing cars.
I feel like when we were there
airplanes
last week at that comedy show, which, man, I kind of want to talk about.
I know, we can talk about it later.
I want to talk about that comedy show. I feel like it wasn't that loud. Like, it was pretty chill.
No.
Like, there were not very much traffic.
No, but we were inside.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But even like walking around outside. I don't know. Maybe I saw a plane.
But it was also way later. I mean,
it was like 9 p.m.
versus noon. Anywho, so we start with kind of basic warm-up stuff. She didn't really give us any big safety anything on the
You'll know when you feel unsafe.
I mean, they were about 6 inches off the ground. So it was not...
And you didn't go very high. It was you were in the hammock?
It was 6 inches is about as far as you got.
6 inches is all you need, really.
It was like wrapping your hands in it and using it as... Like, you'd wrap your hands up and then lean forward, like from a kneeling position, and you could stretch your back like that. You can, having your arms forward and supported, and then doing like a forward fold. Lots of those kind of exercises. And then a lot of time spent with it as a backpack where it's suspended from the ceiling and you have slotted yourself through and wrapped your arms over. So it's coming up from under your armpits.
Sure, behind your head.
And you're trying to like push your armpits down. And while they're getting... She basically said, it takes some practice to not feel super uncomfortable with this.
You're like, I'm here for a one-time class.
Right. She's like, if this is your first time, it's probably going to feel really uncomfortable, and you're probably going to, maybe be sore. And she was saying to let it massage your body. It was not a massage. I don't know.
It didn't massage your body?
It did not massage my body. It just felt scrunched up.
Are you sore?
I don't think I'm sore. But I personally do not. Like, being lifted by the armpits is one of my least favorite sensations. I don't know anybody who likes that.
I mean, it's not very common as adults to be lifted or lift someone else up by their armpits.
No, because it sucks.
That's like lifting up a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
To then cradle. We don't even pick up our cats by their armpits.
Yeah, no.
Pick them up by their big fat bellies.
Yeah. Anyway. And we're kind of moving through until eventually, for the most part, like the first half of the class was basically all kneeling or sitting and then hands intertwined and not really being suspended.
Okay.
And then eventually, finally, she's like, okay, we're going to do an inversion. So you're going to put the band, and it's like a big hammock. So it's like tied together at two sides, but it's probably 8 feet of fabric wide. Like, sure. It's long.
Like the anchor points at the top are 8 feet apart?
No. The anchor points at the top are maybe 2 feet apart. But the actual hammock, like the fabric in the hammock, is probably 8 feet wide. And then it's gathered into, like 6 inches.
Right.
So when
6 inches is all you need.
So when it's all compact, it's like a big, thick... Silk rope type situation.
Sure.
And then you can unfurl it and literally lay in it. A hammock that covers you from head to toe.
I assume this is what you did.
Eventually, yes. So...
Nap in a hammock.
So you're like, you got your arms in the sling, right? We did that for a while. We did the arms above your head and like stretching that way. And then finally she's like, okay, so you're going to put the band across like the top of your butt, across your sacrum.
Sacrum?
Yeah, the bone.
Okay, well, come on. I'm not educated.
Right?
The butt, the top of the butt.
Top of your butt. And basically do kind of like a bridge.
So, and then you're putting your weight on the...
And you lean...
hammock?
Yeah, so... And then you lean back and kick your legs out and wrap them around.
Okay.
So it's now...
Where are your hands? Like on the ground behind you?
Yeah, on the ground, like this way. Like I'm facing
next
upwards.
To you. Okay, and your legs are going up and twirling around.
Kind of going from a bridge to now my butt is being supported by the band, and I can lift my feet up. And then it's kind of like
upside down.
Well, it's not fully upside down. It's just lifting your butt up. It's kind of like, when people lift a baby's feet to change their diaper, when they like in like a little diamond,
Where you hold both the feet with one hand.
Where you hold both the feet up with one hand.
So you're saying
like that?
The aerial silk was an adult holding your legs while they changed your diaper?
Yes, except instead of being held by the feet, it was like under the back, like under your tailbone.
It seems like a better place to support.
Yeah. One would, under the tailbone, and then your legs kind of wrapped around the silks.
Sure.
So, a little woven in there. And we did that for a while.
Did anyone have a stinky diaper?
The gentleman next to me
no, don't say it.
He was rooting in a tootin', man. And I will say, that position in particular, she's like, oh, you could try moving your legs around. You could try doing this. That particular position was freaking queef central. I was like, my word. I have got to
Like the whole group?
Well, I thank God there was airplanes. I don't know, man. I was just like, oh gosh, this is like, yeah.
Queef Central is
Queef Central.
Name of my new band.
Like it, because there are some positions. I mean, really, if you get your pelvis high enough up, as a grown adult woman,
Queef Central.
Queefs happen, right? And that in particular, I was like, this is just, ain't no way you're not queefing, and I
So the instructor didn't say anything.
She didn't tell me it was Queef Central. I found that out for myself.
She didn't say anything like, hey, it's okay, a little extra air might escape your vagina.
Wind. If you've got a vagina, you might have some wind. If you got a butt, you might have some wind.
There might be some wind breaking here. No matter what hole it's coming from.
There was no warning about
perfectly normal
about the queef-tastic position.
Well, I should probably go in your review.
Anyways, did that for a while, and then
how long is a while?
Minutes.
The guy was tooting.
No. Well, so he wasn't really rooting and tooting yet.
Okay. Oh, you're getting to the rooting and tooting.
So we got our legs up doing that, and then we're kind of now. She's like, all right, we're going to stand up. And so we stand up.
Normal standing up.
Yeah, normal standing up.
Okay.
But we got the thing. And we're like, and we're doing more wrapping the arms and like doing some stretches. And then she's like, okay, it is time to enter the hammock.
Oh, my goodness.
And so you prep it. You kind of shake it out so it's not all twisted on itself. And you step one leg through and then sit down. So you've got a panel of fabric in front of you and a panel of fabric coming up behind you.
Like riding a swing sideways.
Like riding a swing sideways, yes. But then the fabric is like going to your knees. And she's like, okay, we're gonna kind of be in a squat. You're suspended in a squat and you're like kicking back and forth. So you're swaying back and forth.
Really trying to imagine this.
My problem with this was I was trying to do it. But my yoga mat was sliding all over. Like, I don't know how everybody else's yoga mats were for whatever reason, that floor, my yoga mat just was saying no. So I'm like trying to figure out how to get my feet to
not slide.
I'm sliding everywhere. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And then she's like, okay, and I got really confused by this. And part of it's because I'm wrapped in a fucking cocoon. So I'm trying to look.
Well, they did mention cocooning.
Right.
Yeah.
So she's like, you're going to take your legs and you're going to fully put them in the cocoon.
Okay.
And I thought she meant and she said forward, extend them forward in the cocoon. And I was like, okay. And I kind of messed it up. And then I looked over and I realized I was doing it wrong. What she wanted was, because we're sitting with our legs apart with the fabric coming up. Mm-hmm. And what she wanted was for you to take each leg independently and stretch the fabric out. So you're still straddling the fabric, but now it's just longer. There's so much fabric that it's going the length of both legs. And you are like a butterfly with your legs as the wings.
So the feet are also within the cocoon?
Are within the cocoon.
And your arms are still...
And arms are in the cocoon also.
So you're fully submerged in this cocoon.
You're fully...
Are you fetal position? Or are your legs straight out?
Your legs, you're sitting like in a straddle stretch, but just 6 inches off the ground.
Fully in a cocoon.
In a cocoon.
What color was your...
Blue. Okay. They were all blue.
They were all blue?
They were all like blues and blacks.
Okay. I was imagining red for some reason.
No.
It's kind of sexy. You know.
And so she's like, so you got your feet in the cocoon.
Yes.
And then she's like, you can do a forward stretch. And we're doing figure fours and
in the cocoon?
In the cocoon. So you've got walls of fabric all around you.
And you just have to work on listening? You can't see anything?
You can't see.
You
can't see. You're in the cocoon. She's like, do a butterfly stretch. So you put your feet together and you're like,
how? I'm a cocoon. I'm not a butterfly
yet. You're going to reach your arms out of the cocoon and then grab your feet and pull them tight. And I'm like, okay. And at this point, here's the problem, right?
Uh-oh, there's a problem?
Yeah. Well, there's a breeze. We're gently swaying. All I see is fabric. I'm getting motion sickness.
Oh, yeah.
Because I get really bad motion sickness.
You can't see the horizon.
I can't see the horizon. I'm stuck in walls of fabric, swaying around, trying to do stretches. And thankfully, we were deep breathing because I needed it because I was starting to get sick.
Like deep breaths. You're like,
and it really felt like playing on a swing.
At any point, did you feel like you were turning into goo?
Not at this point. There was a bit later where I was like, I am a worm. Not really goo. I felt like a worm.
So pre-goo.
So close to goo, but a worm. So we get through some of those exercises, and then eventually we get into like a pigeon pose.
So wait, you're calling these are exercises, not just stretching.
I mean, it's stretching.
Like, did it?
But you would describe a stretch as an exercise.
You needed to use strength to.
Not really.
That's stabilize.
That's not what exercise means. Okay. If you did a math sheet, that would be a math exercise.
So you're doing stretching exercise.
Stretching exercises.
Cocoon exercising.
Yeah, it's not exercising as in.
You're not trying to break a sweat.
No, it is just doing the thing.
Gotcha.
That's what exercise.
Like a doctor has a practice, and they're practicing exercising as a doctor.
You're making this way more difficult. It was not strenuous.
That's all I wanted to know. Yeah.
You would call it an exercise, right? So you're in the cocoon, and then she's like, okay, we're going to do windshield wipers from within the cocoon.
What is a windshield wiper?
You know when you sit on the floor and you have your knees 90-90?
Like cheerleaders.
Yes, like cheerleaders. So we've got the legs straight out. They're wrapped on both sides, right? And then you're trying to do the 90-90 with it. And she's like, okay, now you're going to reach. We're going to go to the left, and then you're going to take your arms out of the cocoon and reach out and stretch in this. That was when the guy next to me started just ripping it. I don't know, something about that stretch, and he was jet propulsed, okay? And then she's like, if you want, you can transition to a full pigeon pose, which is like with a runner's stretch where you put your foot up sideways underneath your leg. You know what I'm talking about?
No clue.
Like if you were to be a sprinter, like they're on the starting blocks.
Yes.
Right? With 1 foot forward and 1 foot back.
Gotcha.
And you took that knee on the forward foot, you turned it sideways under your body. Kind of like a cobra stretch, but with the leg up, the pigeon stretch.
That's a pigeon stretch?
Yes.
With one leg or both legs?
With one leg up.
And the other leg is?
Like this, but if I was laying down with one knee across. I'm sorry, people who are listening only.
Okay.
This is a pigeon stretch.
Oh.
That's a pigeon stretch.
Sorry, I thought I always knew that stretch as like a diamond stretch. Because the shape it makes between your legs is a diamond.
No, this is a diamond stretch.
No, that's a butterfly stretch.
No, this is a butterfly stretch. That's a diamond. It makes a diamond.
And what does the other one make?
This is a butterfly stretch.
No, the pigeon flexible. Stretch. The pigeon stretch.
It doesn't make a pigeon. I don't know why it's called a pigeon stretch.
It's a diamond stretch.
It's not a diamond stretch. If you ask people to do a diamond stretch, they're not going to do that.
Well, maybe. Who knows? I bet it's 50-50.
I doubt
Let us know in the comments.
Anyways, doing a pigeon stretch. It was not comfortable, and I did not feel like I got a good stretch.
So you did a full pigeon stretch.
With legs suspended.
In a cocoon?
Yeah, in a cocoon.
Wait, suspended?
So, yes, in a cocoon.
Were you all encased?
My hands were out. Just my hands. And then everything else.
This is such a weird visual. I'm really trying to grasp.
Imagine if you just wrapped me in a sheet. And then we're going to do a wheelbarrow race.
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
But your hands are on the ground.
My hands are on the ground. And then my body was wrapped in a sheet.
And I'm holding your feet, but you're inside the cocoon.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it was like.
That would be an interesting wheelbarrow race.
Anyways, so from there, if we do both sides, right?
Of course, you got to do both sides.
Toots McToots over here is just rooting and tooting away. I'm like, all right. And then we switch to fully in the cocoon. Because so far we had had straddled it, right? Now we get out, kind of, and we sit back down with it coming up behind us. So before it was the front and back straps were like in my face and behind my back.
Yeah.
Now they're at my sides.
So you
right?
turned.
So I've sat on it like a regular swing. Before it was like sitting on a swing sideways.
Gotcha.
Now I am sitting on it like a regular swing.
You rotated 90 degrees.
Right? And so now the expanding part is going the length of my body. And now I am just fully swaddled. I am entirely cocooned. And we just laid there that was my favorite part, actually. I was still getting motion sickness. But I could see the sky. So it made it a little better. It wasn't just a wall of fabric at this point.
That's good. You could see the sky.
So I could see the sky. It was a little bit better. And I just kind of stretched out with my arms above my head because that was most comfortable. She was like, oh, you could lay with your arms crossed across your chest, but I didn't really like that as much. So I was laying with my arms stretched out. And literally, I was just fucking waggling around. And I was just like, I'm a little worm waggling around. Like, and she's like, okay, you could try and do some crescent moons where you just kind of do side bends.
Right.
Side bend the other way. I was like way ahead of you, by the way. Already been doing the crescent moons, just waggling. And then we stayed in there for what felt like a very long time. Like to the point where I was like, did I fall asleep? Because I'm like, how long has it been since we've been in this cocoon? Because it felt like very long. And she's got healing sounds playing, like the singing bowls and stuff on the speaker, which I'm right next to. So it's like, boom. And I'm like, okay, being a worm, this is great. She's like, you're to be reborn from your cocoon. Like, think of yourself as a butterfly. And I was like, yeah, I'm a fucking butterfly. And then, and eventually we got out, and then she's like, okay, we're done, right?
We're done.
No, she was really nice about it. And then everybody kind of got we navigated our way out of the cocoon, and then that was the end of the class. And
did anyone have a hard time getting out of the cocoon?
There was one guy, so there was...
Different than Toots Magoots?
Yes, so there was Toots Magoots, who was an older gentleman, I would say probably in his mid-60s.
Sure.
And then there was one guy who was like mid-30s. And he struggled a number of times throughout the class. Like you could, he wasn't like a big guy, but he was a bigger built dude. And I could tell that he was like, I don't know if this is going to hold me. It's only 6 inches off the ground, but I could tell he had that kind of fear in him. And he was struggling to get it to like sit right on his body. And then there was a girl who had clearly been there a bunch of times before because but when I showed up, she was already upside down. Right. And I was like, okay, she's been here before. And then myself and 2 other people, it was their first time. Well, and the guy. But there was 2 other women. It was their first time. And the instructor was saying how like, oh, so many of you are new faces. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay.
It was interesting to me because I've done stretch classes before. I've done yoga classes before. I have done some aerial stuff. I've done Lyra, which is like the hoop. Mm-hmm. And I've done pole. But I've never done aerial silks. And I will say I thought it was fun-ish. Like it was fun. Uh-huh. It wasn't that like spectacular. I mean, it was meant to be meditative and relaxing. So I think I would have had more fun just going to an aerial silks class. But I don't think it was meant to be fun, if that makes sense. Like it's meant to be relaxing, meditative.
Well, you had to be reborn.
Yeah, right. But it's not necessarily meant to be like a, woo, I'm having a great time. Right. Like it's a different vibe. It's restorative.
Do you think you got out of it restorative feelings? Did you meditate?
I don't necessarily. If I had slept for 2 more hours, I think I probably would have felt more restored.
Okay, well, whose fault is that?
Well, it's not their fault, but I would say it was not as restorative as an hour of extra sleep.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's a good criteria, actually.
Like,
was it more restorative than an hour or two of sleep? The answer is no.
No, and I can do that for free.
Well, cost of living is pretty high, so it's whatever it costs, for rent.
Right. Well, sure, whatever. Paying it anyways. I was paying rent here even while at that yoga studio. It's not like I didn't pay rent.
Dang, you're right.
Yeah. I think the part of that was the most. I think the part for me where I was kind of disappointed in the class was it was not a better stretch. I was like, I was interested because I was like, maybe this is like a really good way to stretch. I think if you are new to stretching, it is a gentler way to stretch. But for someone, if you are experienced in yoga or like, I did not feel like it was a better stretch than I get on the ground. And
interesting.
I think part of that is because there's some amount of like push and pull that gets a bit messed up. And I think if you are someone who is not very flexible and needs to edge into it, being able to support yourself with your arms, that makes a huge difference in certain stretches, right? Like if you have really tight hamstrings and you can't go very far,
sure,
being able to support yourself with your arms would make doing a hamstring stretch a lot easier, because it can be difficult to do a hamstring stretch if you're trying to reach down, because that increases the stretch. But if you need to balance, right, you can use yoga blocks. But if you're tall for one, or if the yoga blocks aren't tall enough for you wherever you're at, it can make it hard. So I could see using the yoga strap would be really good for that. However, I wasn't feeling like I was getting enough of a stretch out of it. And I assume that some of that is technique, right? Because she said that she's been doing it for a long time. And I'm sure if I was more practiced at it, I would get a better stretch out of it. But I do think that certain aspects of gravity that we were actively defying with the sling are a big part of what helps you get a stretch.
Gotcha. So you were taking away some of the stretching potential with these aerial silks.
Well, also, I felt that within reason, being all encumbered with this big piece of fabric and kind of swaying around, which I feel like there could be arguments both for and against the sway. Because swaying while in a stretch can help you, like, feel the range of the stretch.
Sure.
But I also felt like it kind of meant that it was harder to control the stretch.
Like to hold it for long enough.
And, like, sometimes the wind would blow and I would, like, kind of get turned. I'd be like, like, no, it's not what I want.
Oh.
But overall, I don't know that I would go back. I do think that I'd maybe be interested in taking an aerial silks class. That's more aerial silks-ish.
Yeah.
As opposed to doing yoga.
Someone yelling at you like, you're fierce, you're fierce.
I think for me, a big part of it is I got less out of it than I feel like I would have gotten from an aerial silks class, and less out of it than I feel like I would have gotten from a traditional yoga class. I guess, but I think that for you, because you are not particularly flexible, you may, like, it might be something that you get more out of than I do.
Hey, I'm more flexible than the average male.
I don't think so. I mean, you're probably as flexible as the average male.
I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll see about that.
Can you even touch your toes?
What do you mean?
Like, standing up straight. Like, can you do a forward fold and touch your toes?
Okay, first of all, my torso is longer than yours, so it's a lot farther to bend.
What do you mean your torso is a lot longer? That makes it easier.
Oh. I don't know. I haven't tried in a while. But has the average man tried? I doubt it. Too busy grinding, you know what I mean?
Grinding?
Yeah.
Like working to touch your toes?
That's what they call it.
You don't grind. My love. You do not grind.
No, I do not grind. That's true.
But so there was one gal in the class, and I was like, she's got good vibes. I'm gonna try and strike up a conversation with her because that's one of the rules. You got to make a conversation. So
One of the rules of the podcast. You got to try to make a friend.
And I heard her say that she lives in San Diego, or that she had moved away. That she grew up here, and then she moved away, and then she moved back a year ago. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
I'm curious how you captured the vibes of the people in the class when you are completely blind, covered in silk.
Well, I wasn't for the whole time.
Did you talk to, like people were talking to each other?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, literally based on vibes.
Gotcha.
Literally, she just seemed cool. I don't know.
I mean, I completely, I vibe with vibes.
Yeah, she seemed cool. And so I was very tactical in my striking up of conversation.
Hey, hi, can I talk to you?
No, I was like, oh, do you know this area? And she said that she didn't. I said, well, I was considering going to that pot pie place. I was like, that pie place across the street and getting a snack. I was like, but I don't know if they have any gluten-free pies. I was like, I have celiac disease, so I was curious about before I go over there, if you knew,
yeah.
And she was all, no, I don't know. She's like, I've heard that place is pretty good, though. And she was telling me how her sister used to work at a place like that. And I ended up convincing her to get coffee with me, which I say convincing, but basically I said, oh, yeah, I was thinking about going over there. And we were chatting just like a little bit, and then she was like, oh, I'll come join you for a coffee. Why not? Like, I was like, yeah, that's right. So we go over and we had a coffee and got to know her a little bit. So that was nice. Made a friend. She seems cool.
Anything stand out about this particular person?
We actually had a lot in common.
Wow.
She dives.
Does she also get told that she looks like Zooey Deschanel?
No, she's blonde. Does have bangs though.
Okay.
She dives.
Dives?
Yeah, she's a diver.
Uh-huh.
She said she hasn't been in a couple of years though, which it seems.
Same as you, yeah.
Same girl. She also worked on a commercial fishing boat as a deckhand. And we were talking about, I was like, oh man, because I knew some people who were the observationists on boat. Were basically, so for the big boats that do the big trawling, and they're the big bad guys. We don't like them.
We don't like the big ones.
We don't like the big ones. But when they do the big trawling, there's a limited amount of bycatch that they can get. And basically, you have somebody who's from Fish and Wildlife who is on the boat, and they make sure that there's not too much bycatch, which there's always too much bycatch. But basically, if they're fishing for tuna, right, and they catch everything but tuna, everything.
Throw it back.
Yeah, but it's probably going to die. Like 90% of the time, it's going to die.
Even if they throw it back in the water?
Yeah.
It's because it's stuck in the net, or what?
Well,
or because they're on the deck for too long?
The way that these boats work, a lot of times they drop a big net.
Sure.
Down to
tuna depth.
To the depth that they're going. So if they're going for halibut, that's going to be like the halibut live on the bottom, right? Tuna's not a great example, but
okay.
So whatever fish they're going for, whether it's sole, halibut, cod, they tend to be towards the bottom. There's not a ton of fish that are just kind of in the middle of the water.
No.
Right? So they're normally at the bottom.
Because there's some at the top, but they're the smaller ones, right?
Right. So what they do is they have a trawler that is a big net that goes along the bottom of the seafloor.
And they drive the boat.
And they drive the boat for miles.
Right.
And anything gets packed up in there. So if you imagine being dragged behind a truck for a couple of miles and then forcibly brought up hundreds of feet in a big bag crammed against a bunch of other things, and then dropped from a height onto the ship deck, and then they take however long to sort through everything, And then you're like, it's not the fish we want. Throw it back. You think that fish is going to live?
Yeah, probably not.
Like, probably not. You know?
I see why we don't like them.
No, we don't like them, especially because it's very indiscriminate, and they also, like, they rip. It is things like corals and stuff that can't swim away, you know? So we don't like them. And she was also in agreement with, we don't like those kind of fishermen, because they also make things way harder for everyone else. They are not good for the environment in general, and that hurts all the fishermen, right? Even the ones who are trying to do it right. So, and it gives fishermen a bad name.
It sure does.
Right? Because, like, nobody likes that. So we were having a nice chat, and it was cool. And she's a bartender.
What don't you have in common?
Right? I know. And she lives in the Pacific Northwest. I know. I was like,
Did you find a new best friend? Like, what is...
I don't know. She seems pretty cool. I kind of felt a little bad because I was, like, pretty tired, and, like, I was hoping the coffee would perk me up more than it did. So I was, like, oh.
Oh, yeah. For people that don't know, you had to get up.
I had to get up and be there
at 11:15 in the morning.
Yeah, to be there at noon.
Which is, you know, way early.
Yeah.
So.
I'm like, honestly, I'm really tired right now, and I'm powering through.
You're gonna power through.
I gotta power through because I want to go to sleep at a reasonable time tonight.
We're both gonna power through today. No naps.
No naps.
No naps.
Because I need to go to sleep at a reasonable time, so I'm gonna be.
Okay, what would be a reasonable time?
4 a.m.
Okay. What time is it right now?
I mean, like, really reasonable would be 3, but, like, what I'm gonna...
We both know that's not gonna happen.
No, that's what I'm saying, 4.
Yeah.
It's, like, almost 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Which, here's the thing. If we fall asleep before that, also a win.
Sure.
Right? But, like, 4 a.m. is when I would like to be asleep.
Right.
Potentially. And that is not regular for me. Normally, it's like 5 or 6 a.m. when I actually am falling asleep. You fall asleep so easy. You just have a hard time staying asleep.
Yeah. I do have a hard time staying asleep.
I stay asleep
I don't know how to fix that, because sometimes, like, if one of the cats is making any noise, or if you are coming to bed later or get out of bed because you can't sleep or something, I usually wake up.
Yeah.
And then it's hard for me to fall back asleep.
Yeah, I had a problem last night where my feet were really cold. And I felt bad because I was trying not to wake you up. My feet were really cold.
Sure.
Oh, I guess that wasn't last night. It was the night before. And I was, like, trying to sneakily put on socks. But I had a cat on my lap. So there was a laundry basket that I knew that there were socks in. And I, like, carefully dragged the laundry basket towards me. And then you still woke up anyways. But I sneakily was... The problem being, the reason I couldn't sleep was because my feet kept touching my calves. And that
your calves are warm and your feet were cold?
Right. And it was, like, way too cold for me to, like, sleep with that.
You got to tell one of the cats to lay on your feet. What's going on?
It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen.
Dang.
My feet were too cold. They didn't want to lay on them.
Dang. So you said you probably wouldn't go back.
I just don't know that I got enough out of the class to want to return. It was funny because the outdoor space was really nice. Yeah. And it was a beautiful day. It was like 75.
I mean, you'd hope for the price of the class. Did I tell you how much it was?
I would guess around probably like $25 to $40.
Okay, well, yeah, that's pretty much, yeah. It was $30.
Yeah, that's about as much as those classes.
And then if we minus the price of the book swap, which was $8.95 for the ticket, you ran out of your $50.
No, that's $40.
Yeah, okay. Well, did you get anything for $10?
No, I got a coffee. That was $4.35 or something.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
you could have brought me a coffee.
The coffee was okay.
I hate when places don't have good coffee. When it's like one of the only things that they do.
I got an iced Americano and it was fine.
Yeah, but come on. Did they just pour it directly over the ice?
I don't know. She was behind. I think they added water. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because like an iced Americano to go, you got to make sure to put the cold water in over the ice first before you put the espresso in, or else it like melts too much of the ice and then also gets in contact with the plastic, and it's not good for the hot liquid on the plastic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've done these things.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Well, did it taste like plastic?
Not really.
Let me check your microplastics.
Anyways, I don't think I would go back.
But you did make a friend.
But I did make a friend. And I did think it was really funny that it was next to that bar that we went to that bad comedy show at.
Man, I feel like we could do a whole episode on that comedy show.
That was a rough time.
It was a rough time.
I still don't understand how. I think the best and worst part. We went to this comedy show where it was a weekly free comedy show, which is always more miss than hit.
I mean, yeah, it's a gamble.
Most of the time, it was a gamble, but we had low expectations.
Sure.
It somehow was worse than our low expectations.
Yes, and the fun part is it started off on the ground.
On the ground.
And then it kind of got worse from there.
You have to be a really good comedian to be able to make political or insensitive jokes about current events. You have to be a really good comedian for those to hit.
Yeah, or you could be a better comedian and not do those, maybe in such a small crowd.
I think I don't know who felt like it was a good idea to ask who was an American citizen or who was not an American citizen in the crowd.
That was an interesting choice.
That was a crazy choice. Honestly, that was crickets. And then somebody in the back going, yeah, no one's answering. No, move on. Like, which he was an immigrant, but no one is going to be answering that question right now. And he didn't earn, the big thing that I have learned about comedians is if you want to make a joke about something that is sensitive or a lot of people tend to get upset about, you have to earn the trust of the audience first.
Yeah, you have to tell them you're funny.
You have to make them like you and make them want to be your friend first. And then you can pull out there's an understanding that this is in good faith, right? That they're making this joke in good faith. And that never happened. Not once did it happen where I was like, okay, this person's funny and I'm getting their vibe and it's good. Yay, we like this. That's a tough joke. But that was really funny. No, never. It was just constant disappointment, and
it just makes me think again that you would still be a better stand-up comic than anyone else that performed at that show. And unfortunately, that is not saying very much.
No, I've seen funnier rocks.
You can hear more about this comedy show on the Nerd Huckleberry Twitch channel.
I did talk about it.
You talked about it. Was that the last stream? Was that last Wednesday?
Yeah, at length. For probably, I think I talked about it for about 30 minutes.
At
least.
And
the show was an hour long. So.
Right. So, yeah, if you want to hear more in depth, act by act.
I will say the final act was actually funny.
Yes,
and
she was great.
She was great. She was funny. She did a great job. Lots of people laughed. I laughed. You laughed. It was a good time.
Funnily enough, it seemed like she was the one that was the least prepared.
Yeah, she was like writing, but she was actively taking notes and like making.
But that's what I mean. Is like she was preparing for the moment, not like reading from their book.
Mm-hmm. What was interesting was also the other comics kept kind of blaming the crowd, which is very funny because the crowd was not warmed up in the slightest. Honestly, less warmed up than when we started. Hard tanking repeatedly.
I'm glad we got good seats.
And then she came on and people actually laughed. And I'm sure that the other comics felt like garbage.
Well, yeah, up until that time, they could have
feel good.
Easily been like, this crowd sucks. This crowd doesn't want to laugh.
Yeah.
and then she comes on, and everyone in the bar is laughing.
Everyone in the bar is laughing. Yeah, that was that wouldn't feel good.
Well, do you have any ideas on where you're going to send me next? You've got 2 weeks to figure it out. Hopefully, I don't get sick again.
I know. Haven't a clue. It'll be kind of, I mean, we're getting pretty close to Christmas time.
Ooh, is it going to be holiday themed?
Christmas. Maybe,
I was really looking for holiday themed stuff, but most of them start at 9 a.m. and I don't want to do that.
I know. Why are they all at 9 a.m.?
I don't want to make breakfast cozies.
Maybe I'll find something New Year's-y for you about going in to the New Year's. I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh, like a New Year's resolution.
Write-down party, journaling party. That sounds not very...
that doesn't sound very fun at all. It might.
It might be. Who knows?
Maybe you write resolutions for other people, and then you have to pass them one... You have to anonymously...
You get stuck with a resolution, and you're like, tie my shoes every day.
No! I only have one pair of shoes that I tie, and every time I'm like, oh, is it worth to put these on? How long am I going to be wearing these shoes? Because every other shoe I'll slip on or zip.
Yeah.
It's just the ankle high Vans.
Did you not get the bread laces for those? The stretchy laces?
Not that pair.
Do you want them for that pair? Because I feel like you wear that pair. Before it was the black. It was your work Vans, so it was the black ones.
And I mean, I don't really care. I like tying them. Those laces were fine, but they were not as tight as I'd like, I think.
All right. Well, now that we're talking about shoelaces, we should probably.
Well, the original Vans shoelaces that it comes with are a good length. They're a good width.
Okay. It's time to wrap it up. It's time to wrap it up. We can't just keep talking about shoelaces.
Thank you so much for joining us, everybody, on another amazing episode.
Oh yeah.
Of Solo Adventures.
Sorry.
Join us next week when we don't do anything. Then the week after that.
We do something.
We'll do something.
One of us will go on a solo adventure together. Oh. Yeah, the solo adventures together. That's the show name.
That's the show. You said the show name.
The show name. All right, thanks so much. Don't forget to check out our Twitch stream over at twitch.tv/Nurse Huckleberry, where we do a comedy cooking show. Saying things together actually makes it less intelligible.
Well, I feel like it's a good skill that we have, though.
No, I don't think
I want to show that to the world.
But now people probably can't hear Nurse Huckleberry as the ending of the email, the website.
Twitch.tv/Nurse Huckleberry.
That's the one.
Comedy cooking show.
Mm-hmm. And we also have a YouTube channel over at Borco TV, where you can search for Nurse Huckleberry and it'll show up there too. So check that good stuff out.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks, everybody. Take your own solo adventures out there.
Goodbye.